Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Elisha Maisara binti Azman. I'm from SMK Anjung Batu. I'm 14 years old. Today, I would love to tell you guys about the book that I read. The big title of my book is The Magic Apples and Other Stories. The book was written by R. Lisa and published by EDU Tech Publisher. The book has 100 pages. There are several other stories in this book. So, today, I will tell 3 stories from this book. The titles are The Old Thirsty Lady, The Faithful Cat, and The 3 Little Boys. First, I'm going to tell a story about the thirsty old lady. One day, there was a widow who had 2 children. Catherine, her stepdaughter, was kind, hardworking, and an obedient girl. The widow's own daughter, Camelia, was an unpleasant, rude, and disobedient girl. Every day, Catherine was sent by her stepmother to draw water from the well. As Catherine was drawing the water from the well, she met an old lady who asked her for some water. Catherine drew some water from the well and served the old lady, not realizing that the old lady was actually a fairy in disguise. The fairy was so touched by the way Catherine treated her that she gave her reward. Each time Catherine drew water from the well, her water buckets would be filled with not only water but precious stone as well. When her stepmother found out about Catherine's gift, she sent Camelia to the well so that she too may receive the same gift. This time, the fairy took the appearance of a princess and asked Camelia for some water. Camelia rudely saying, "If you want some water, get it yourself." The fairy was so annoyed at the way she was treated and told Camelia that she was rude and a cruel girl. The fairy then gave her a punishment she well deserved. Whenever Camelia drew water from the well, her bucket would be filled with not only water, but frog as well. From that day onward, Camelia learned a valuable lesson. The second story is about the faithful cat. Lavanya and Raymond were a young Eurasian couple. They had a beautiful baby boy named Kevin. They also had a Persian cat called Rini. One morning, Lavanya left for the market. She told Raymond to look after the baby while she was away. Raymond sat down beside Kevin and gently pulled him to sleep. A short while later, the telephone rang. He was summoned to the hospital immediately as he had to perform a major surgery on a very important man. Raymond entrusts the baby to Rini and proceeded to the hospital. The cat sat down to guard the baby. Meanwhile, a huge python entered the window and sit toward the baby. Rini had left the baby for a while to ease itself. Rini sent back into the house. It saw the python heading for the baby's coat. Rini ran towards the python and fought with it. Rini managed to bite the python and kill it. Just then, Lavanya returned from the market and saw the cat's mouth was with blood, and she thought the worst and hit the cat with a stick and chased it away. She ran to the baby and was surprised to see the baby sleeping soundly. Beside the baby coat, she saw the dead python. Lavanya felt bad for hitting and chasing away Rini. Immediately, she began calling out for Rini and searched for it frantically. She found Rini in the garden. She bent over and picked up Rini in her arms. She kissed it. She thanked Rini for saving Kevin. From that day, Rini had a special place in the hearts of Lavanya, Raymond, and Kevin. The last story is about the three little boys. Justin, Joshua, and Jason were three little orphan boys. They had lost their parents 2 years ago on a camping trip. Their mother had fallen into a nearby river and drowned while trying to fetch some water. Their father perished when he went to her rescue. From that day onwards, the boys had to fend for themselves. They did odd jobs in a village nearby. They were so poor that they sometimes had to starve. All the time, they would even beg on the streets. When they ran out of clothes or shoes to wear, they would go to church and ask them for clothing and shoes. They did not attend school, but were about doing work to earn a living. Justin, the eldest among the three, did farm work like cleaning the farm and feeding the chickens, while Jason went from house to house doing household chores, and Joshua helped out a stall selling drinks. After their daily work, they would go home to prepare dinner for themselves. Once in a while, they would stop at a nearby stream to catch fish. Although they were poor, the boys were always happy. One day, while having their dinner, the boys suddenly heard cries of a baby. The boys followed the sound and found a baby. Jason picked the baby up and carried it close to the warm fire. Together with the baby were some baby clothes and bottle of milk. The baby continued to cry, and the boys guessed that the baby was hungry. The next morning, Jason stayed back to look for the baby with Justin, and Joshua went to work. He told his brothers to ask villagers if they knew of a missing baby. They both asked around, but their inquiries drew a blank. Then, they decided to care of the baby themselves. Justin had seen a cow near their house. On their way back, they stopped by at the farm to milk it. The boys realized that they were doing was all wrong, but they hardly had another choice. The poor baby would otherwise starve. Then they take care of the baby properly and become a happy family. That's all, and thank you.